Let's start by clearing up one of the biggest misconceptions about building wealth. There's no such thing as a quick and easy path to financial success. The truth is wealth is built over time, not overnight, and that's why long-term investing is the smartest strategy you can adopt. Look, I get it. We live in a world that glorifies instant gratification. We're constantly bombarded with stories of people striking it rich with the latest hot stock, cryptocurrency, or some get-rich-quick scheme. It's tempting to believe you can double or triple your money in a matter of months if you just make the right moves. But let me tell you something. Those stories are the exception, not the rule. For every person who wins big in the short term, there are thousands who lose everything chasing the same dream. The markets are unpredictable in the short run, and trying to time them is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. It's a gamble, not a strategy.
Here's what you need to understand. Long-term investing isn't flashy, but it works. It's not about chasing the latest trends or making big, risky bets. It's about steady, consistent growth over time.
Think of it like planting a tree. You don't plant a seed and expect a full-grown oak the next day. You water it, nurture it, and give it time to grow. Eventually, that tree becomes a strong, towering symbol of your patience and dedication. The same goes for your investments. When you commit to a long-term strategy, you're giving your money the time it needs to grow and compound. You're not just relying on luck. You're relying on a proven system that has stood the test of time. And let's be clear. Wealth isn't built by luck. It's built by discipline and intentionality. Long-term investing requires you to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. It's not about what your portfolio does this week, this month, or even this year. It's about where you'll be 10, 20, or 30 years down the road. The beauty of this approach is that it allows you to tune out the noise.
When the markets are up, you don't get carried away with euphoria. When the markets are down, you don't panic and sell everything. You stay the course because you know the real rewards come from sticking with your plan over the long haul.
Here's the kicker. Time is your most powerful ally when it comes to investing. The longer your money stays invested, the more it can grow through the power of compound interest. Every year, your investments earn returns, and then those returns earn returns. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, but over time, it picks up speed and grows larger and larger. That's the magic of long-term investing.
It turns small, consistent contributions into significant wealth.
But here's the catch. You have to start now. Every year you wait is a year you miss out on the incredible benefits of compounding.
The best time to start investing was yesterday. The second best time is today. So here's the bottom line. Long-term investing isn't about getting rich quick. It's about getting rich for sure. It's about making smart, intentional decisions that set you up for a lifetime of financial security and freedom. Forget the hype and the shortcuts. Focus on the proven strategy of steady, disciplined investing and trust the process. Over time, you'll build the kind of wealth that doesn't just change your life. It changes your family's future for generations to come. You've got this. Now let's dive into one of the most powerful forces in the financial universe, compound interest. This, my friends, is the secret sauce that turns long-term investing into a wealth-building machine. Albert Einstein once called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason.
When you understand how it works, you realize that it's not just an investment strategy, it's a financial superpower. Here's how it breaks down. Compound interest is what happens when your investments start earning returns, and then those returns begin to earn returns, and then those returns begin to earn returns.
It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small and seems to grow slowly, but as it keeps rolling, it picks up more snow, grows bigger, and gains momentum. Eventually, it's massive, and it's moving so fast, it's almost unstoppable. Let me give you an example. Imagine you invest $1,000 and that investment earns a 10 return in the first year. By the end of the year, you've got $1,100. Now, in the second year, you're not just earning 10 on the original $1,000. You're earning it on $1,100.
By the end of year 2, you've got $12, $10. It keeps building year after year. Fast forward 20 or 30 years, and that original $1,000 has grown into something far greater thanks to the power of compounding. The longer your money stays invested, the more dramatic the growth becomes. It's exponential. And the best part, you didn't have to lift a finger beyond your initial investment. Your money was working for you 24/7, growing and compounding while you went about your life.
Here's the critical takeaway. Time is the key to unlocking the full potential of compound interests. The earlier you start, the more powerful this force becomes. That's why I always tell young people, start investing now. Even if it's just a little, those early years are golden because compounding has more time to work its magic. Let's say you start investing $200 a month at age 25 and earn an average return of 10p5 and earn an average return of 10. By the time you're 65, you'll have over $1.02 million. Now, if you wait until you're 35 to start investing the same $200 a month, you'll end up with less than half that, around $550,000. That's the cost of waiting. Time is your most valuable asset, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. But don't just take my word for it. Look at the track record. Historically, the stock market has delivered an average annual return of about 10s. That's why long-term investors who stick with the plan, through the ups and downs, reap the rewards of compounding. The markets might fluctuate in the short term, but over decades, they have consistently trended upward. And that's exactly why long-term investing works. It gives compound interest the time it needs to do its job, smoothing out the bumps and turning your consistent investments into serious wealth. Here's the thing. Compound interest rewards the patient and the disciplined. It's not flashy. It doesn't give you instant gratification, but it does deliver something far more valuable.
The freedom to retire on your terms, to help your kids pay for college, to give generously, and to live a life where money is no longer a constant source of stress. That's what long-term investing can do for you.
And it all starts with understanding and harnessing the power of compound interest. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Start planting those financial seeds today and watch your money grow into something extraordinary.
You've got this. Now let's tackle one of the biggest fears that keeps people from investing: market volatility.
If you've ever turned on the news during a market downturn, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The headlines scream about crashes, recessions, and plummeting stock prices. It's enough to make anyone want to pull their money out and hide it under the mattress. But let me tell you something. Market volatility is not your enemy. Fear is it. If you're going to succeed as a long-term investor, you've got to learn to stay calm and ride out the storms. The truth is, the market will go up and it will go down.
That's normal. It's part of the process. But here's the good news. Over the long haul, the market has always gone up. Historically, it's delivered strong, consistent returns for those who stay the course. Let's break this down. Imagine you're on a roller coaster. There are highs and lows, sharp turns, and moments where you feel like you're dropping straight down. But if you stay in your seat and trust the ride, you'll eventually get back to the top.
That's exactly how the market works. There will be dips, sometimes big ones, but those dips are temporary. What's permanent is the upward trajectory over time. If you panic and sell during a downturn, you're locking in your losses. But if you stay invested, you give your portfolio the chance to recover and grow even stronger. Remember, you don't lose money in the market unless you sell. The people who win are the ones who hold steady, who keep their eyes on the horizon and refuse to let short-term noise distract them from their long-term goals.
And let's not forget, market downturns can actually be a blessing in disguise for long-term investors. Why? Because when the market dips, stocks go on sale. You wouldn't stop shopping at your favorite store just because they're having a massive clearance event, right?
The same logic applies to investing. When prices drop, you have the opportunity to buy quality investments at a discount. Over time, those investments will recover and grow, and you'll be glad you stayed the course and kept investing. In fact, some of the biggest gains in your portfolio will come from the investments you make during the tough times. That's why I always say, disciplined turns aren't a reason to panic. They're a reason to stay disciplined. Let's look at history for a moment. The Great Depression, the dot-com bubble, the 2008 financial crisis. These were all terrifying periods for investors. But do you know what happened after each of these events? The market recovered. Not only that, it reached new heights. Investors who stayed in the game during those tough times came out on the other side stronger and wealthier. And the same will be true for the next downturn and the one after that. The key is to keep your focus on the long term. Don't let short-term volatility shake your confidence. Trust the process, trust the market, and trust the power of time and compounding to work in your favor. Here's what I want you to take away. Volatility is temporary, but your goals are permanent. Don't let fear derail your financial future. Stay invested, stay disciplined, and keep your eyes on the prize. Long-term investing isn't about timing the market. It's about timing the market. The longer you stay invested, the more you'll benefit from the market's long-term growth. So the next time the headline starts screaming about a market crash, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this is just a bump in the road. You're in it for the long haul, and you've got what it takes to stay the course. You got this. Let's talk about one of the most important decisions you'll make as an investor. I'm an investor choosing the right assets for long-term growth. Here's the deal, folks. Not all investments are created equal. If you want to build real wealth, you've got to focus on the kinds of assets that have a proven track record of growth over time. That means putting your money into vehicles like stocks, mutual funds, and index funds, not speculative investments or the latest get rich, quick fad. Too many people get caught up chasing trends, thinking they'll strike gold with the next big thing. Maybe it's cryptocurrency today or some hot tech startup tomorrow. But let me tell you something. Wealth isn't built on chasing trends. It's built on discipline and consistency. You want to invest in things that have stood the test of time, things that have weathered market crashes and economic downturns and still come out stronger on the other side. Let's start with stocks. When you invest in the stock market, you're buying a piece of real businesses, companies that produce goods and services, employ people, and drive the economy. Over the long term, the stock market has delivered an average annual return of about 10. That's a solid return, and it's why stocks are one of the best tools for building wealth. But here's the thing. You don't want to just buy any stock. Trying to pick individual winners is a risky game. And unless you've got a crystal ball, you're likely to make some costly mistakes. That's why I recommend investing in mutual funds and index funds. These funds spread your money across a wide variety of stocks, giving you instant diversification. Diversification is your safety net. It helps protect you from the risks of any one company or industry underperforming. Index funds, in particular, are a fantastic option for long-term investors. They're simple, low cost, and incredibly effective. When you invest in an index fund, you're essentially buying a little piece of every company in a particular market index, like the SEC 500. That means you're investing in the 500 largest companies in the U.S., household names like Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft. These are the companies that drive the economy. And when the market grows, your investment grows with it. The best part, index funds don't require you to be a financial expert. You don't have to worry about picking the right stocks or timing the market. You just set it and forget it, letting the market do the work for you. Now, let's address a common misconception. Bonds and cash equivalents. These can play a role in a diversified portfolio, especially as you get closer to retirement and want to reduce risk. But for most people in their prime earning years, bonds and cash won't give you the growth you need to build substantial wealth. They're safe, sure, but they're also slow. They're like walking in a race where everyone else is running. If you're in your 20s, 30s, or even 40s, you've got time on your side, and you should take advantage of it by focusing on growth-oriented investments. Here's the bottom line. You don't need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to investing. Stick with the basics, stocks, mutual funds, and index funds, and stay consistent. Avoid the temptation to chase after the latest hot investment. Those might look exciting, but they're often high risk and low reward in the long run. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. When you invest in the right assets and give them time to grow, you're setting yourself up for financial success that lasts a lifetime. You've got this. Let's get real about the two qualities that make long-term investing work: discipline and patience. These are the secret weapons that separate those who build lasting wealth from those who constantly struggle with money. And let's be honest, discipline and patience don't come naturally to most of us, especially in today's world where everything is designed for instant gratification. We want results, and we want them now. But let me tell you something, building wealth is not a sprint. It's a marathon. It takes time, consistency, and the willingness to stay the course, even when it feels like nothing is happening.
And that's where discipline comes in. Discipline is what keeps you investing every month, no matter what the market is doing. It's what helps you stick to your plan when the headlines are screaming about market crashes or when your neighbor is bragging about his latest misinvestment.
Discipline says, I've got a plan and I'm sticking to it. Now, let's talk about patience, because this is where a lot of people trip up. Patience is the ability to stay invested and let time do the heavy lifting. It's about understanding that wealth isn't built in a matter of months or even years. It's built over decades. The problem is too many people expect instant results. They look at their investment account after a few months and think, why hasn't it grown more? Or worse, they see a market dip and panic, pulling their money out at the worst possible time. But here's the truth. The market rewards those who wait. If you're constantly jumping in and out, trying to time the market, you're going to miss out on the big gains. The best days in the market often follow the worst days. And if you're not patient enough to ride out the rough patches, you're going to lose out on the recovery. Let me give you an example. Between 2008 and 2009, during the Great Recession, the stock market took a massive hit. People were panicking, selling off their investments left and right. But do you know what happened next? The market rebounded, and those who stayed invested saw incredible growth in the years that followed. Investors who pulled out, on the other hand, locked in their losses and missed the recovery. The same pattern has played out time and time again throughout history. The market dips, people panic, and those without patience lose. But those who stay disciplined, who keep their eyes on the long-term goal, come out ahead every single time. That's the power of patience.
And here's another thing. Long-term investing isn't about how much you can gain in a single year. It's about the cumulative growth over decades. Every time you contribute to your investment account, every time you let your returns compound, you're building momentum.
It might not feel like much in the beginning, but over time, that momentum turns into something extraordinary. This is why patience is so critical. The early years of investing might feel slow, but they're laying the foundation for massive growth later on. If you quit too early, you'll never get to see the full potential of your investments.
So, how do you develop discipline and patience? It starts with having a clear plan and a strong why. Why are you investing in the first place? Maybe it's to retire comfortably, to provide for your family, or to achieve financial freedom.
Whatever your reason, keep it front and center. When you're tempted to stray from your plan, remind yourself of your long-term goals. Remind yourself that every dollar you invest today is a step closer to the life you want to live.
And trust the process. The market has a proven track record of growth over the long term. Stay disciplined, stay patient, and let time and compounding do their work. Here's the bottom line.
Discipline and patience are the keys to long-term investing successes. They're what keep you moving forward, even when the journey feels slow or uncertain. So commit to the process. Trust your plan. And remember, the rewards of discipline and patience aren't just financial. They're the peace of mind and freedom that come with knowing you're building a secure future for yourself and your family. You've got this. Now let's bring it all home by focusing on the ultimate goal of long-term investing.
If financial freedom invest isn't just about growing your bank account or hitting a certain number in your portfolio.
Yeah.
It's about creating a life where money no longer controls you.
Think about that for a second. What would it feel like to wake up every day knowing you're financially secure, knowing that you can handle whatever life throws your way without losing sleep over money? That's what financial freedom is all about. It's not just a number. It's a mindset, a lifestyle, and a legacy. And here's the best part. Long-term investing is the road that gets you there. When you commit to a long-term investment strategy, you're building a foundation for your future that allows you to live life on your terms. You're creating options. Maybe you want to retire early and spend more time with your family.
Maybe you want to travel the world, start a business, or give generously to causes you care about.
Whatever your dreams are, financial freedom gives you the power to pursue them without hesitation.
You're no longer tied to a paycheck or worried about whether you'll have enough to make ends meet. You're free to make decisions based on what you want, not what you can afford. But here's the thing.
Financial freedom doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of intentional, disciplined decisions made consistently over time. Every dollar you invest is a seed planted for your future.
And as those seeds grow, they create a life where money is a tool, not a source of stress. You're no longer working just to pay bills. You're working because you want to, because it aligns with your purpose and passion.
And eventually you reach a point where work becomes optional. That's the dream, right? To live a life where your money works for you, not the other way around. And let's not forget the impact this has on your family. When you build wealth through long-term investing, you're not just changing your life. You're changing your life. You're changing your family tree. You're creating a legacy of financial security and freedom that can be passed down for generations.
Imagine being able to help your kids pay for college without taking on debt, or being able to leave an inheritance that sets them up for success. That's the kind of impact long-term investing can have.
It's about more than just numbers on a balance sheet. It's about providing opportunities, reducing stress, and building a future where your family can thrive.
Here's what I want you to remember. Financial freedom isn't a distant dream. It's a reality you can create starting today. Starting today, it doesn't matter where you're starting from or how much you can invest right now. What matters is that you start. Take that first step, commit to the journey, and trust the process. There will be ups and downs along the way, but if you stay focused and keep your eyes on the prize, you'll get there. And when you do, you'll realize that every sacrifice, every moment of discipline, and every bit of patience was worth it. You'll have built a life of freedom, security, and peace, a life where you're in control, not your money. So stay the course. Keep investing, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of long-term planning, because the road to financial freedom is paved with intentional, disciplined choices. You've got what it takes to make it happen. You've got this